It's just that you are giving someone to produce and making money out of that. So lesser risk and a better strategy to enter, but only restricts to certain high-end organizations. Then what are the risks? So the disadvantage of licensing is the risk of providing valuable technological know-how to foreign companies. So once you have shared the technological know-how, I mean, ideally you have the IP rights and all. Nobody should be able to take that away from you, trademarks, IP rights, and um, all those rights on that product. But once no one formula, one technology goes out of your hand, there are always chances of that being compromised in some form or the other, maybe sooner or later. So thereby, you to a certain degree, you tend to lose control over its use. And what are the things you must consider when you're thinking of taking this route for international entry is that if royalty is considerable and licensee is trustworthy and reputable, then only one should consider doing or taking this option. And licensing can be a very attractive option for international market entry, right? So let's move ahead, have a look at नो फ्रेंचाइजिंग स्ट्रैटेजी. हम सब ने किसी ना किसी आई मीन किसी फॉरेन फ्रेंचाइजी के स्टोर में या आउटलेट में आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ अस हैव एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम utilized their services. So this is a very common practice, and franchising allows companies to rapidly expand internationally with minimal capital investment, as the franchisee bears the cost, right? For franchisee setups everything, and in a way he is representing your brand, so he pays most of the setup cost, land, whatever, outlet, manpower, and you only provide training, etc. brand. So this is also a economic way of international expansion. So as the franchisee bears most of the cost and risks. However, the risk is that poor selection of franchisee can lead to challenges, as they may not always maintain the brand consistency and quality standards, especially when local cultures have different expectations. So it is also slightly tricky, like any other strategy. So adapting the product offering to local taste is often crucial for the success of franchisee food chains, helping to prevent an overly ethnocentric approach by the franchisor. ये हमेशा से एक द्वंद्व रहा है फ्रेंचाइजी में. आई मीन हम भी कई सालों से पढ़ रहे हैं. अब लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल इफ मैकडोनल्ड्स है और वो आया, मैकडोनल्ड आई मीन वाज फेमस प्रीवियसली फॉर हैमबर्गर्स, बट इंडिया में तो कोई हैमबर्गर्स खाता ही नहीं है. So there was always a dilemma that should they follow their standardized product profile or they customize it to suit the taste of the local customers. So eventually I think local customer has won. And all brands in India have in some way or the other have adapted or aligned their product profile to the local taste of Indians, right? Or so that's another element. अब ये भी एक थोड़ा सा है. I mean, if you are someone who don't want to change the product profile, then it becomes a difficult proposition, right? So this balance between standardization and localization is a key success factor in international franchising strategies. So every strategy will have its own advantages and certain challenges. So does franchising, and but it's a good thing because that's the way the foreign brands and good brands are coming into many countries, including India, and we are able to enjoy their services, products, and services. Now, another strategy is to have foreign subsidiary strategy. So similarly, it also has certain elements which you must consider. So foreign subsidiary strategies are a key consideration for companies looking to expand internationally. Now, two main options are either you acquire someone, right, and the greenfield ventures. Okay, that trickles me to do a quick question session. So can anybody help me? What is greenfield? What is brownfield? Have you heard these terms? Okay. नहीं सुना
No.
है तो sorry.
Greenfield or something which is started from scratch itself, sir. Like if you want to create a refinery, you acquire a land, you You do all gamut
Absolutely.
of things from zero. And
Absolutely.
the other is where you have something where you go beyond a particular smaller unit to bigger unit, or do a bit of changes, just make things perfect as per your new requirements.
Absolutely, sir. And when I'm asking this question, please don't mind because I really don't know your age and experience profile. So these questions are not to assess or judge anyone's knowledge. It's just to break the monotony of my own voice, right? Um, so Abhi, greenfield and brownfield, to some, I mean, has been beautifully explained by no, Mr. Chandramani. Can somebody tell me what is whitefield? Has anybody heard what is whitefield? It's a great business term. I'm sure आपने कहीं ना कहीं सुना ही होगा. It's very popular in India. Okay, German Whitefield is nothing. It's a place in Bangalore where a lot of ITs do their business. So it has nothing to do with green and brownfield, right? Just to break the ice, right? Okay. So we saw that what are the or let's go further deeper. So as rightly said, greenfield ventures, start from scratch, right? It's like new project. So and vis-a-vis acquisition allows for quicker market entry. I mean, it's so obvious that acquisition you buy an existing player, so everything you get ready and you can roll out your products and services quickly compared to greenfield, right? So so acquisition has a quicker market entry timeline. It's maybe less, definitely it is less risky, more cost efficient, provide access to local operations and relationships. Greenfield ventures compared to acquisitions gives us direct control over all. I mean, you are in more control. You choose the land, you choose the people, you choose the machinery, you choose the market. So it gives you more control, but then it comes at a cost. Control comes at a cost. So it gives you direct control over all aspects, allows building from the ground up, and can be cheaper in some cases depending on the geography and how good you are in negotiating the deals. So the choice depends on factors like market condition, resources, and the company's international experience. Both have advantages and challenges. So the decision should be aligned with the overall international strategy, right? So let's see what's in store ahead. Now, let's see the aspect of alliances and joint venture. This is another strategy to enter an international market. So how does it helps? And know what are the consideration we must have when we are looking at alliances and joint venture strategies. So when we do alliances or joint ventures with the home companies, it gives us the local market knowledge, which is a key benefit of forming an alliance or a joint venture. So by partnering with a company that's familiar with the local market, you can tap into their expertise on things like government regulations, consumer preferences, distribution channels. Alliances and joint ventures also allows you to achieve economies of scale by pooling resources for production and marketing. Partners can realize cost saving that wouldn't be possible on their own, right? Two is always better than one, or I know the more the merrier, but it all depends on the collaboration synergy. Sometimes it doesn't go so well also, but if done due diligently, I think alliances work better than going solo. So shared resources is another major advantage. Alliances enable the sharing of facilities, dealer network, technological know-how, strengthening each partner's access to buyers and expertise. And finally, alliances and joint ventures help mitigate risk. They offer more cost-effective ways to expand internationally without large upfront investment, and provide an opportunity to disengage if the partnership doesn't works out as planned. So it's a win-win option if the partnership clicks. No, you enjoy the ride with your partner, but like any partners, like any normal partners have differences, and if the differences are not manageable, you can always part your ways, right? Now, what are the challenges of international alliances? So challenges could be in the form of cultural barriers, conflicting objectives, coordination cost, comprehensive risks. So let's deep dive into some other elements related to these challenges of international alliances. So they often face significant cultural barriers, including language differences and mismatched expectation. I mean, cultures are so apart, so different, so unique to one particular country that this is always a challenge when there is an alliance. Partner in an alliance may have conflicting objectives, strategies, and values, making it challenging to align on the way forward. So coordinating an international alliance can be very costly as the transaction cost of negotiating agreements and monitoring compliances can be high, right? We all know that how difficult, I mean, no, we being in India, managing our compliances, government regulation itself is so challenging for us. Imagine somebody comes from a different country and establishes how challenging it is. And especially when it's an alliance, it's not just wholly owned company. Then there are competitive risks in the alliance. As a partner, they may gain access to proprietary technology or capabilities that could erode one's competitive advantage. So hope it is making some sense, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, this is interesting aspect of this chapter and could be slightly new to most of us that there are various strategies or approaches and there are different terminologies. And from exam perspective, I think this is important. There could be question asking you the definition of these various international strategies, or they could be no mix and match, right, wrong, true, false kind of a question from this. So this is and from a broader understanding also this is important. So you must go through the chapter. So there are various strategies which we can follow. So one is multi-domestic strategy, then is global strategy, and then is transnational strategy, right? So this slides outline these three main international strategy approaches, that is multi-domestic, global, and transnational. So now what is multi-domestic strategy is think local, act local approach, where a company tailors its offerings to meet local market, right? That means you are providing different product to different country. You're not giving a standardized product to all the countries or customers. Now, global strategy is think global, act global. That approach is deals with standardized products, globally integrated products and operation. That means you are in a way supplying standardized products or a profile of products, standardized products to all the markets where you operate. You're not customizing it to suit the local taste. So that's a global strategy. And the multi-domestic strategy is that for every country, I have a specific product profile which suits the local requirement. So there's no standardization. Transnational strategy combines element of both, that is global and local, balancing standardization and customization to efficiently meet local needs. So it's a midway path between global um, strategy and multi-domestic strategy, right? And so we will see the pros and cons of this approach, right? Going ahead. So let's see if we have further details on these strategies. Okay, so let's deep dive into certain finer elements of multi-domestic strategies. So key features, it varies products offering by country, right? So it will have country specific product profile, adapts to local market conditions, decentralized decision making, focuses on local responsiveness. Now, what are the advantages is that it meets specific local needs, allows quick response to local market changes, enables targeting of new local opportunities, builds stronger local market positions. Now, certain drawbacks that multi-domestic strategies hinder transfer of capabilities across border means that if you have a very good product working in one market under this strategy, it is difficult to market the similar product in the different country. raises production and distribution costs because you are modifying the product. So you'll definitely, there has to be a different assembly line or product setup for that particular product due to greater variety, and are not conducive to building a single worldwide competitive advantage. So you're not making one, terrific product for the entire world. You're customizing it for each country. So these are some finer aspects of multi-domestic strategy. Now let's deep
So
dive
could
into
you,
global strat. Sorry.
so on the previous slide,
Yeah, sir.
so could you go to the previous slide? So could you
Multi-domestic,
elaborate
sir.
on the, yes, sir, could you elaborate on the local market conditions or the changes or the opportunities?
So, sir, for example, I'm produce. For example, I'm McDonald, right? And I want to come to India, but I have been selling hamburgers only. I gave this example previously also. Now, when I come to India, so nobody will eat ham. I mean, half of our population is vegetarian. So I will have to adopt my product profile to suit the taste of the customers in India, right?
Right, sir.
So this is adapting to local market conditions. The customers, the Indians, what they want, McDonald's is going to align their food profile. They'll bring vegetarian burgers, cheese, and maybe tikki, paneer, and they have done it, right? We all know. है ना? I mean, we go and see that it's full of vegetarian menu. If they stick to their ham and non-veg, they will never be profitable in India. I
Right, sir.
hope
Like it is also
makes, sir.
yes, yes. I guess the same aspect is also prevalent in few of our states, wherein primarily vegetarian food stuff is served over non-vegetarian.
Yeah, truly, sir. If people don't align, even the Chinese food chains, if they don't serve vegetarian, they will never see their profit line growing any time. And everything
Right.
from clothing, to cars, there's a lot of modification which suits the market in which you want to come. I mean, it all depends when you're following a multi-domestic strategy. Otherwise, if you're following a globalized standard policy, then you're not changing. Then whether you buy it or not, I will have my own product profile. That's what it
Right,
means.
sir. Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
And the decision is decentralized, because if you're following this strategy and when you are not letting the local leaders take a call, then this strategy is going to fall flat. मैं बोलूंगा मैंने ये स्ट्रैटेजी फॉलो तो करी है, लेकिन डिसीजन मैं यूएस से लूंगा, तो फिर होगा नहीं, राइट? क्योंकि
Right, sir.
डोमेस्टिक डायनेमिक्स यहाँ तो हमारे तो इतने फेस्टिवल, अभी आप गणपति पे अगर आपने गणपति के हिसाब से कुछ अलाइन नहीं किया तो वो गणपति की सेल्स आपको मिलेगी नहीं, या दिवाली के हिसाब से आपने कुछ चेंजेस नहीं किए, या उस टाइम में कुछ नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च नहीं किया हमारी जनता के हिसाब से, तो इट विल नॉट वर्क. और ये इतनी चीज से होता है कि अगर डिसीजन मेकिंग इतनी दूर बैठी है तो इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क successfully in our country, or for that matter in any country, if we are following multi-domain. That's why the decision is also decentralized.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. So now let's have a look at global strategy. So this is primarily driven by standardization, integration, efficiency focus, and obviously it will also have certain challenges like each strategy, right? So a global strategy involves selling the same product under the same brand names worldwide using consistent distribution channels across countries. Now, global strategies are characterized by centralized, efficient value chain activities like production, distribution, with a focus on economies of scale and experience. The benefit of global strategy includes significant cost saving from high volumes, because you are producing one product for everybody. So obviously your volumes, your SKUs are less and volumes are more. So you get the economies of scale. So per unit cost of production goes down. However, it can be less responsive to local market needs. We just discussed that they are not changing product suiting the local taste. However, it can be, I mean, it's less responsive to local market needs and face higher transportation cost and tariffs. And while a global approach offers standardization and efficiency, it also presents challenges in addressing local requirements and adapting to changing conditions in individual markets. So these are some of the finer aspects of global strategy, ladies and gentlemen. So we have covered two. Now, the third one is transnational strategy, which is a mid path or a fine balance between global and local. Apologies, the font are slightly shorter. So no worry, you guys are young, just zoom in your eyes or screens. So transnational strategies balance a global standardization and local customization. Companies like McDonald's, KFC, Starbucks adapt their offerings to local preferences while maintaining quality and efficiency. This approach allows for transferring and leveraging skills and capabilities globally. However, it's the most complex international strategy to implement as it requires pursuing conflicting objectives simultaneously. The key is finding the right partners, the right balance between global integration and local responsiveness. Now let's have a look how we can build competitive advantage internationally, right? So it could be driven by location-based advantages, or it could be on resource and capability transfer based. It could be better cross-border coordination and global scales and mutual international learning, right? So these are some of the aspects through which we can build competitive advantage globally. So international business strategies can give companies a clear competitive advantage over domestic only competitors. Location-based advantages allows companies to lower cost or differentiate products by strategically placing value chain activities in different countries. I mean, this is the bottom line why so many companies have outsourced their production to China, Vietnam, India, because these are location-based advantages in terms of no low land cost, labor cost, right? Um, better educated workers. So these are some of the location-based advantages which the companies are using for their global strategy and placing value chain activities in different countries. Now, firms can transfer valuable resources and capabilities across borders to extend their competitive advantage. Cross-border coordination lets companies shift production or workloads between countries in ways domestic firms can't. I mean, somebody who has only one production unit compared to that, if someone has a multiple production unit, definitely he or she or that company will have advantage because they can always shift the production depending on the demand requirement. If the demand in one region increases, they can shift the production from one unit to another. And imagine the companies which have not only multiple companies in multiple production units in one country, but multiple production across the globe. So they definitely have greater advantage than someone who has no single production entity or entities within a country, right? Because every location will have certain distinct advantages. So it's a bouquet of advantages these players will have who have got their production unit distributed across the globe. Now, international expansion allows companies to achieve greater economies of scale and move further down the learning curve, leading to cost advantages. So, Yaman, do we need a break? It's 11:01. Can we take a 5 minutes break? I think the attention span also is not beyond 45,
Yes, sir,
50 minutes.
we should agree, sir.
Right? So, what time we meet? Abhijit can take that call. What's the time? It's 10:52, right? So we meet at what? 11?
Yes, sir,
Is,
11.
is it fine? Eight
Fine,
minutes
sir.
break?
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Refresh
All
yourself.
right, sir.
Thank you. Take care.